Hey all, Feanor here, and today we'll be going over add-ons. I've had this request in Guild and in my YouTube comments already for how small my YouTube channel is. It's pretty crazy. So I'm just getting around to doing it. I was going to do something simple, but instead I'm going to go through and show examples of most of these add-ons. I'm going to give you a little bit of a breakdown and tell you which ones I think are really important and which ones I've used for many years. I'll also put a list of them with descriptions in the description box down below. So if you want to go over anything, or maybe you want to see what I've typed about them because it might be a little more detailed, then feel free to do that. They will be there for you for some copy pasting and whatnot. If you get anything from this video, if you like it, please like and comment, let me know. And of course, subscribe and hit that bell because it helps me greatly. I'm not trying to complain, but these do take a lot of time, and I don't mind, but man, do I really wish that this will take off somewhere. So I appreciate you guys for your support and any more support that you will be willing to give me. All right, enjoy the video. All right, before we jump into all the add-ons, I wanted to show you an add-on manager, and this is called Minion. It's the only one I've really ever used for ESO, at least in memory. I used to use many for World of Warcraft and whatnot, but Minion has been the staple for me for so many years, I can't even recall if there was another one. Might have been Wolf something. I just can't remember if I used it for this. Anyway, Minion works fantastic. I've seen people complain and say they like to do it manually. That's not going to be the option for most people. This makes it really streamlined and simple. So you can save a lot of time and not have to look up a ton of guides to be able to make this work. You just want to like type into Google Minion add-on manager. It'll be this top one here. This is the address link here in case you are worried about downloading something suspicious. As I said, I've used this for many years. Millions of people have used this. You should be perfectly fine to use this. Don't be stressed about it at all. And you can see I have all of the add-ons that I'm going to be going through in here today within this. And you can even get all of these variables that you need for these add-ons to work. And we will get into those too. I'm not going to go by each one like item by item, but you're going to understand them and see how to find them. Okay. On to the add-ons. The first add-on I will be talking about is Advanced Filters. And Advanced Filters is... a lot of these are going to be self-explanatory, kind of. But it could apply to many things, right? This is for your inventory specifically, and it's going to give you all these really neat breakdowns of different types of gear. It's not going to do this other stuff. That'll be another add-on that we will get to shortly. But you can go through and just see only weapons, only armor, jewelry, consumables, and then you get to the consumables or something like it. You have all these different breakdowns, right? And it highlights the ones that you have in the inventory. So if you have no recipes, they won't show up here. It's really neat. Saves you a ton of time, gives you a lot of options to quickly get through your inventory a lot more efficient. And that can be great because inventory management can be an absolute hellscape in this game if you have all the bag space possible and you're picking up tons of different things around the world, and then you get there and you're like, what am I doing with all this crap, right? So this is very helpful, and I'm going to try not to take too much time on each add-on because there's a lot. So we'll go to the next one now. The next one on the list is Auto Category Revised. This one is that other add-on I was talking about, which breaks things down even further once you get into this section of your inventory. So you have these up here, but again, let's go to consumables. Always a good option to showcase this. You have these breakdowns here, but maybe you don't want to click those. You want like an immediate thing. You only have a certain amount of items and you just want to see them split up. So it does the same thing as up here, but in your inventory. It's just, I like these things. It might be completely unnecessary in your opinion, and you do not have to use these, but to me, this is helpful. Open it up. Instantly, there's things bracketed, so they're not just bunched up. Gets a little jumbled, for my brain at least. So that is what this add-on does. Another one that I recommend. This one is a honorable mention of sorts, because I don't think that this is going to be something that a lot of people want to use. But if you're someone who farms specific types of farms where you get a bunch of junk items that you don't want anymore, and it's going to be a lot to manage, Dustman will junk those things for you or sell them as soon as you open up a merchant if you set the correct parameters. It is not perfect. Some people also feel like it's risky. Maybe it'll delete things that it thinks you don't want that you do. I haven't really had that problem, but I understand the concern, and I've also thought of it before. So you could avoid this one if you want to, but it does save me a lot of time. When I'm doing those pattern and recipe farms that I showed in one of my other videos, it speeds up the process so much, and you might be like, it's not that bad, but honestly, if you're doing many characters like I was and looking to make millions per hour, then every minute counts, and managing all of that little garbage like one gold rings and different miscellaneous things that are complete trash, you know, it helps for that kind of thing. So that is why I use it. You can use it too, or you can just say no to this one. LootDrop Reborn is an extremely good add-on for those of you who come from other MMOs where you pick stuff up and it's shown in your text box. Or even if you get XP and whatnot, you're used to seeing it down there. You like to be able to go back and scroll through it and see what you got. So that is what LootDrop Reborn does for you. I definitely prefer it. I grew up playing many games where that was the case, and I really didn't like how in the vanilla version of ESO, a lot of times you'd get something and be unsure of what you got. Just be like, how many of that thing did I get, and where did it go, and all that kind of stuff. So that helps you keep an actual log of what's going on. There's other add-ons that do similar stuff, but that one is the most, like, it feels the most like home if you're coming from other MMOs. We're going to enter a different category here now, and this is by far the largest category. Some of these might have been able to be broken up into other subsets, but it all kind of fits, and it's UI, quality of life, and utility. So every single one of these will fit into some kind of aspect of that category, and the first one that we're going to talk about is Alpha Scry. Alpha Scry really helps you be able to find which antiquities that you have available and break them down by their quality and whatnot. And in fact, let's just jump into that in the game real quick. So if we're looking at all of our active leads, it's very annoying to scroll through, and sometimes you have way more than this. This isn't that many. It's been way worse for me before. But let's say I don't care about most of these, and I just want to see legendary ones. Or epic, because I don't have any legendary leads right now. So I only want epic leads. I do that, hit E, and look at that. It's all broken down. So I can make sure that I don't have any of those epic or superior leads that are about to expire. And I don't really. This one's only 6 days away. So, but sometimes you'll pop in and you'll be like, oh my god, I only have an hour left to get this lead. How did I miss this for so long? Using this add-on really helps that not happen as much. As long as you get in the habit of coming in and checking, you have a much smaller list to go through, and you don't have to sift through all those garbage green ones that most of us don't touch anymore. So that is Alpha Scry. The next add-on on the list is Character Knowledge, and this one is also fantastic. It keeps track of so much stuff, it is insane. You have Scribing, Furnishing plans, Motif, recipes. You can see everything that your character has learned so far, or what they have not. Like, I have very few things you can actually just organize it. So if I click known there, you see what I haven't learned for recipes. So I just need to go out of my way and find these recipes and learn them, and I will be at 100%. And this is amazing for collectors. And of course they had the addition of Scribing. I'm very far behind in Scribing, at least on this character. So that is something I will put more time into, and this will really help me know what I'm looking for. The next one on the list is Chessmaster 9000. This one is pretty simple. It just puts chest icons on the map where chests have been found by other players or that have been put in the default database. And it also tracks where you have found chests. So if you find a chest out in the world, it'll permanently lock it in, and then you know once you're roaming the world, I've found a chest here before, let's see if it has spawned. Because chests have static spawn locations, they're just on different timers. So very, very good one to have if you are a person that likes to farm and make money, because chests in certain zones are very, very profitable. And you can find that out in another video of mine. This next one is
Combat Metrics.
monumental for build crafting or seeing how you stand up in your dungeon fights or your trial runs, or if you're just really trying to min-max your rotation at a target dummy. Of course, you can get the final DPS from killing the dummy, but this is obviously a lot more efficient for time and testing things out more specifically. Down in the bottom left here, you will see a very simple DPS meter that'll report to me at all times. Heals as well. It does heals and DPS, among other things. But if you type in command CMX, you will get a very detailed picture here. And you might have seen this if you're looking at any build guides. Most players are utilizing this to min-max how they set their build up. And if you don't, if you're following someone else's build, you pretty much just need to learn the rotation, right? But if you're interested in making your own build or tweaking things and having fun with it, this is a really, really important tool. And I would recommend anyone getting it, even if you're not going to do a build yourself, just for understanding why things work the way they do and what your main damage comes from and whatnot. It's a very, very good tool. All right. This next add-on is called Destinations, and it is another very useful tool that takes a little bit of tweaking to make it work for you. Not necessarily, but in my opinion, it works a lot better if you set it up for yourself. Like, I've made my achievement tokens, like things that I could go do to work towards an achievement, show up as a green skull. So they're very noticeable on the map. And then there's also this red cog. I have made it red, and the default icon is a cog. This is an item that I could go and pick up, and it says the mob I need to kill to get it, and what the item will be that I need. And this can be for an achievement or quest or some kind of collectible. So this is another very good, like, quality of life add-on. This next add-on is massive. If you like to farm nodes and you want to make gold off of farming nodes, this add-on is amazing. It is HarvestMap. It keeps track of every node that you've ever looted and what kind of node it was. It also has a data bank of ones that other people have already found. And you can download some data banks as well if you go out of your way to find them. I personally have no problem just going around and farming my own. I've had a lot of time to do it too. Maybe you're kind of new and you just you don't want to go through the hassle. You can find some of those data banks. You can maybe even get guild members to share it to you. That's just more hassle, in my opinion, than to just go find them. But it shows you all of the ones I found here in Craiglorn, right? And I've farmed this many times over the years. I've farmed countless millions of gold in materials in Craiglorn. And the other feature that I wanted to point out here real quick is if you go up here, you'll have a farming tour editor button. If you click on it, I've already done it because it takes a little bit of time. So I have one preset here. You can set how long you want the farm route to be. Like, it tabulates how long it'll take you to go around looting everything. And you can set what kind of nodes you want. But if you set none, it'll have you run through every type of node. You hit calculate tour and it'll literally make you a tour to follow. It's hard to look at. I understand. It makes your map look very jumbled. And I'll cover that in a second. But on the minimap, it's not that bad because it's a lot smaller. So if you're using a minimap, you can see that's a really easy red line for me to follow. And it's overlapping a bit, not really, but they're really close. But depending on the zone and how dense of the materials there are per zone, it's not going to always look like this. And when you're not farming materials, if you don't want to see them all over the place, because some players hate that, it kills the immersion. You see those little icons and stuff. It's a really easy fix. You just go into your settings, add-ons, find HarvestMap. You can go up here, I think, and boom. Just like that, it's gone. You can also turn off the path that it's set, or you could leave that only. Once you have the path down, you could just run along the path and pick up what you see. So yeah, that is HarvestMap, and it is fantastic. Next one on the list is Lost Treasure. This one is very simple, but extremely helpful. So over here on my directory, you will notice that I don't have, well, I have some icons, but those are antiquities that are showing up. I want to show you the feature that is most usable here, and it's usable very frequently. Let's pull out some surveys. Let's pull out some maps. All right, now if I go back in here, you'll notice in Craigorn, it seems I have a survey or multiple. Alakir, this is the survey icon. It tells me which zone I have a survey in. Then when I'm looking at the zone map, you'll notice this shows up now. So not only does it tell me what zone that I have a survey in, but it also tells me where to go. If I also look for this icon, this little map icon, go to Blackwood, I have X's here for both Blackwood maps. Or, oh, never mind, I have 4 here. Oh my god. So this add-on is a huge time saver. You don't have to use it. If you like the immersion of seeking them out and digging them up and stuff, that's great. I did too when I started the game, but I started the game in 2014, so I am definitely a little bit beyond caring about that, and I just want to streamline those types of things with my time. I love many parts of this game and taking my time. That's not one of them. So if you don't either, there you go. The next one is kind of similar to the previous one, where if you're seeking out lore books and you just want to know where they are at and streamline the zone that you're in, then get lore books. You'll see right here, I have multiple locations that it's telling me to go to pick up books that I'm missing. Super straightforward. It works in delves and dungeons as well. Extremely useful for collectors and completionists. For this next add-on, there are some add-ons which cover map icons very specifically, but map pins, which is the add-on that we're talking about right now, covers a variety that are kind of missed elsewhere. So you can end up with some doubling up if you have other add-ons, but you can kind of mess around with them to make it work perfectly for you. But it'll show all of the bosses that you have in areas, if you've completed them or if you haven't yet. So an uncompleted boss here in Craigorn for me is this one here because it's black. And then the white ones mean I have killed them on this character. Same with dungeons. Like black means unfinished, white means finished. And you can see that in dungeons, delves, open world, yada yada, right? Tons of different icons for various different things in PvP, open world, and what have you. It's extremely useful as an add-on. And again, some things might feel too cluttery for you, but it has a lot of customization. It is a wonderful part about ESO add-ons that they don't just make it and then you're stuck to how it is. There's so much customization for you and personalization. So get at it. This next one is ScrySpy, and I just scried something here in Craigorn since I'm here and had something available. I'm going to pop over there real quick and show you a little bit of what this one is about. I'm sure there'll be some dig sites that are already populated here. Let's pull out my tool. Oops. Activate it. Go this way. It helps indicate where dig sites have been found before if they're already in the database, or if you have found them before. So it can save you some time. It isn't always the most useful thing, but it can be useful. So it's one of those ones that doesn't really hurt to throw in there. So I lightly recommend this one. If you are really into scrying, then it's probably going to be more useful for you than others. I must have went past. I'm out of the zone. Okay, over here, there's a chest that I have not gotten before, which is pretty crazy. Okay, so this one isn't showing up right now. This is a dig site that wasn't showing up. But let me show you how it works. If you saw, it made a mark as soon as I touched it. I'm just going to exit this one. Oh, I failed it. But now I will always recognize this spot on this character as a dig site. And actually, I think it's account-wide, so I said this character. So if I continuously do a bunch of scrying in Craigorn, I'm bound to come across the same dig sites eventually, and it kind of just helps you look in the right direction if you have the general area that your eye is facing you in. That's about it. This add-on, map pins already mostly takes care of, I believe, but if you just want SkyShards, or if you feel like you've noticed them missing in map pins or something, you know, whatever, SkyShards, literally just called SkyShards, will show you where every SkyShard in the game is located. I've never really had one that isn't documented, so, and I've been using that one since the beginning. It's one of the first add-ons I got in 2014. It is amazing that it's, you know, kept up to date and everything that I've noticed. So if you just want that one, you don't want all the other cluttered things, but you just want to hunt SkyShards, that's the guy for you. All right, we have a great but kind of contentious add-on here named Srendarr. And it has too many functions to really go over right now. But if you are interested in keeping track of the auras that you have on, like my Oaken Soul on this character gives me a crap ton of buffs all the time, it can get annoying. You might want to change it to where they're hidden or make them smaller or negate certain ones. Honestly, I have done that on certain characters at times and like perfected it, but it's kind of out of sight, out of mind for me a little bit on this one. It can get out of hand though. It does spell tracking, it does cooldown, upkeep, lots of different stuff, but it's extremely customizable. So if you do like some parts of it and you hate other parts of it, then you can find how it works for you. But I do recommend you at least check it out, because it gives you so much control over what you see in combat and your general gameplay that you might be able to make your game feel a lot better than if you had never even poked into it, right? You could also just waste a little bit of your time. Maybe you pop it open, you realize it's not for you, just delete it. No problem. There's no harm in putting in an add-on and then just deleting it if it doesn't work for you. This one is Votan's Improved Locations. This one you've probably already noticed in this video, or maybe you didn't, but it makes your map key a lot more cleaned up and organized than the vanilla one. The vanilla one seems a little scrunched or like hard to view, and it gives you a more detailed view of what you have going on. It also tracks some of those other things I talked about earlier, like surveys and maps and whatnot. So you can get multifunction out of this one, or you can pick a little bit from one add-on or the other. But I would advise trying this one out and seeing if it makes you feel like this whole thing over here is more clean and organized, and that way you can like break stuff down and find out where you want to go more cleanly. This add-on is a social quality of life add-on, and it is called LovelyEmotes, and it helps you set up a plethora of emotes for quick access to where you don't have to type in what you're trying to do or remember. A lot of the emotes are extremely long words or multivariant words, and they're not always super intuitive. So if you look them up once and add them here, you can have them on the go. Let's say I want to make my character cheer. I pull out my mouse, boom, got it. Does it immediately. No typing involved. I can have them sit, eat bread quickly. I have multiple tabs here for multiple options. It's amazing. So if you're someone that likes to RP, or you just like to have something that you can use in a funny situation, or socially, like thank someone, clap, or whatever in game, just the tiniest bit of RP, then this one is a great one for you. Shadowfen's default guild bank is not an add-on that I need to use anymore, but it was useful to me in the past, and it has helped me help multiple people in the past as well, because accidental deposits of items into guild banks or gold into guild banks and whatnot really sucks. And usually guild masters are really friendly and willing to help out and give it back, but it is annoying. It's annoying to have to ask. Maybe you really needed that gold like quickly and they aren't going to be online for hours. It sucks when you do it on accident, or in the worst case scenario, they do not respond to you and they just keep whatever you put into their guild bank on accident. That sucks. So this add-on makes it to where even if your first guild that you ever joined, you don't want to quit it to take it off that list. If you want to keep it there, this one will let you set whatever guild you want to be your default. So as soon as you go to a banker and select guild bank or guild store, it'll go to that default guild instead, even if it was the 5th one you joined. Unfortunately, Zos doesn't let you, and never has let you, reorganize your guilds. It's whichever one you joined first and in that order. So if you wanted to physically force it to be your first guild and it was your 5th, you'd have to leave all 4 of your other guilds in order to prioritize that one, and then try to rejoin those ones or find new guilds altogether. So this add-on completely skips that process, doesn't make you have to quit guilds, and saves you from having to remember every single time, like, oh, I have to switch to the guild that I want to deposit into. I mentioned minimaps earlier, and I am obviously using one. This is Votan's, and Votan has made an amazing list of add-ons over the years. I prefer Votans for the way that it looks and the amount that you can manipulate it and whatnot. It just happens to work for me. There are other options. I don't really have them listed. I've only ever really used this. I tried one other one years ago, did not like it. I've seen other ones used in videos. Votans just works for me. But this is me making you aware that minimaps exist, because some players literally don't know that you can get them. For some reason, ESO or Zos just never decided to put them in ESO, even as an optional thing. So you have to go grab it yourself if you want one. Super, super freaking useful, especially for farming or trying to pinpoint stuff to not have to open your map constantly. It can get really annoying. Or for some people with vertigo, like my mom, it saves her from dealing with that visual effect constantly and the zooming in and out. So check out Votan's minimap, check out other minimaps if that's something that interests you. This add-on is Votan's Achievement Overview. And it's just another time saver, cleans stuff up a bit, makes it easier, gives you a little bit more info. But it's, instead of having to go into the category and dig into stuff, I get an overview just by mousing over it. In the base game, you do not get that. It's a lot more like you have to like dig in. Even if I just was thinking of this Infinite Archive General tab, if I mouse over Companion Champion, it tells me 19 out of 60. But if I didn't have that, I would have to do the extra step of clicking it and then looking at it. And that doesn't seem like a lot until you're really trying to go through a bunch and sift through them and see what you have left. So it's just another quality of life thing. It can help you if you're an achievement hunter and a completionist. This add-on is insane for people who like to have multiple characters, especially if you're one of those people that likes to have a bunch, like 20 characters on an account. It is Leo's Altholic. And if you want to bring up the menu for it, down in your text box, you type /Leo Alt. While having this add-on, you will get this crazy looking window, and it's going to show you almost everything you need to know about all of your characters without having to do that tediously annoying thing of waiting through load screens and popping onto each character, looking for various things and trying to remember stuff about them. So you can see their level, their class, their alliance, all this stuff, as well as their mount training. So if you want to keep on top of your mount training, I've gotten most of what I care about done on my characters, which is like the speed, and most of them are maxed out anyway. You can look at their stats, skills, another skill page, champion page, tracked quests. Don't have any tracked that I'm noting on here. The writs, you can see if you've missed any writs for the day. If you were like, did I get them done today? Here you go. You don't have to go and check. You can just know their actual inventory, like how much stuff is in their bags, how much money they're holding. Have you ever like just lost a ton of gold on one of your characters because you forgot that it was sitting on them? Well, there you go. Research. It's everything all in one. Again, there's other add-ons that do select things individually. That one is pretty nutty. If you want to just use that, it's possible. Like that really does take care of most things. If you don't want to use like TraitBuddy, for example. But TraitBuddy is just concise and it does its job and gives you notifications, and it's nice for its own purpose. This add-on is the last one of this category, and it's also one of my favorite, if not my favorite add-on, bar none in ESO. And I actually love it so much that I've always wanted Zos to adapt it into the base game and allow it to be part of the feature of the game. I understand some reasons why they wouldn't do that, but man, do I wish they would, because you have to jump through a lot of hoops to make other players interact with this add-on and what it can do. But even if you just want to make your homes more beautiful for yourself, I can't recommend this add-on enough. It's EHT, Essential Housing Tool, and I mean, you'll see. This lighting here and the mist in my well and inside that bucket, special effects that I've added. I've spent tons of meticulous hours doing this kind of stuff throughout my homes. This spooky area here with the green fog flowing through it, special effects. Also behind the target dummy there, special effects that are only possible because of EHT. Let's go up here. My glowing green ball. It gets a little flickery when you go around it, but that is an EHT effect. The wisp gloam effect that happens in can't think of it right now, but certain magical areas I have placed throughout my skyline. I've placed every single one. this glowing magical tree here. That is a bunch of those little wisp gloam effects doing slow flickers that I've modified to implement on this beautiful tree. Here we have my waterfall with custom lighting and floating orbs coming up through it to make it look magical. I have a rainbow that flows over the waterfall. Down below, the water flows. It is magical water, right? So at the bottom, it should be glowing. It should be accumulating and becoming more magical. So I have that upward flowing mist effect I have implemented way down there. That is extremely far. You die before you even get a quarter way down there. That's out of bounds. But these effects don't really have limits. You can just sit there forever pushing the button until it gets further away. And I modified every single thing down there. Even those flowers are not real. Those flowers are special effects. So you're getting a little taste of how amazing this add-on is and how much it really adds to your game and your build experience. And there are ways to share it with your friends. You would have to look into that a bit. I have done it, but it's intricate. There's a lot of hoops you have to jump through and issues that you're probably going to run into, just being honest. But if you manage to get it to work, it's definitely worth it. The quality of these homes improves drastically. Just realized I'm running up this staircase and stuff. This is not a normal part of this house. A lot of this isn't. I did a lot of custom building on this home. But if you come up here to this little secret area, I'm going to show you one last effect from my EHT editing, which is that I made a waterfall. This is just the mountainside, but I have created an area where it can look like water's flowing out of it. And I have added so many different special effects, making sure they don't clip too much so it looks more natural, added glowing effect. And now I have a nice perch up here to where I can look over my place and have beautiful, magical, glowing water. Maybe this is stupid. Maybe other people don't care about this kind of thing, but I know some of you out there do. And I really want to sell you on this because I get such a good feeling when I see something look this great for me. And I've done the same in my mom's houses as well because she loves to just sit there and admire the view. So if you like it too, check it out, please. All right, we are entering the crafting segment of this video, and I have a few add-ons here that I'd like to share with you guys. And the first one that we'll talk about is TraitBuddy. I mentioned it earlier. I don't think I pulled it up, but maybe I did. We'll find out. So TraitBuddy, if I type this in, will pull up all of the traits that I have learned on this character, which is all of them. But down here, I have a list of all of my characters. This has been showcased in another video of mine as well. So I'll just go over it briefly. I can just go through every single one of my characters and very quickly see what I have or haven't learned. And on this Master Crafter, I can go ahead and make the traits for each weapon or piece of gear that they need for every different profession. And then I plop it in my bank, and when I get on them, I have it there to learn. It also tells me timers. I have not been on top of it recently, so it doesn't have any timers, but if I had been training them on other characters, it would even tell me how long I have until it's going to be done, so I could plan accordingly. It'll also send me alarms saying, this character has finished this trait, so I could go put another one on to learn. And you might be thinking, you have a Master Crafter, why in the hell would you spend the time teaching your other characters traits and motifs and whatnot? Because these things actually impact loot, and Zos does not talk about that. So this add-on is actually extremely valuable if you're going to be doing multiple characters and doing your daily writs on them and your daily login rewards on them from your crafting professions. Because the more things that your characters know for motifs, patterns, traits, yada yada, the better loot that they get. So that's an important thing to know and learn as soon as possible so you can start investing in it if you know that this game's going to be a big thing to you and you want to make a lot of money. This add-on here is called Potion Maker, and if I go to the Alchemy station here, I'm not going to have a lot to learn on this one, if any, but you'll notice this looks different than your window if you are playing vanilla and don't have this add-on. But you should have these extra tabs, and specifically the Potion Maker tab. And I'm going to just give you a brief overview of how I would run this if I was trying to learn stuff on a new character. Let's say it's a very low level potion crafter, so I'd select the level 1 water. I wouldn't have the options of the others. And I want to do like restore health and something else. Maybe I do want to have something beneficial for my character. So I'd say like increase. No, let's go with increase armor. Okay, I'm going to select all these, and you'll notice I'll skip certain ones. I'll accidentally click them and then unclick them, but I'm going to skip ones that are generally more valuable. Violet Caprinas has come down a lot, but I just can't. I'm still going to subtract it just because it feels expensive to me because it was for so long. So only the ones that are there that are selected, I say use selected reagents only. I say search, and it is now going to give me every single potion I can make. That'll give me those 2 attributes I selected and more. If it can make up to 3, then it'll do that too. And I just click it and it puts the recipe down there. And this is great for you, the people that don't have everything learned as well, because it costs a lot of materials on your new characters to learn the alchemy traits. So this is a nice workaround for it. It's totally legal. Zos allows it, so it's not technically cheating. This has been in the game for as long as I can remember, and this is how it's worked. All right. So it feels cheaty, but it just is good. And then you can also say exclude all for the negative traits. And that'll cut out some of your options, but it means you won't get those potions that, like, when you drink them, oh, now I have less resistance or I'm going to lose health or anything. It'll only pick the positive traits. This add-on is fantastic. It helps you do a variety of things, especially if you're into that high-level potion-making business and selling them for millions of gold. Thousands, but, a ton of them into millions. This add-on, you should definitely get it. This crafting add-on is absolutely nutty. If you are into master crafting, if you need to run a guild and you're going to need grandmaster crafting tables and you're going to need a ton of Writ vouchers, you absolutely need this add-on. Even if you're just going to be flipping those Writ vouchers for gold, if you're going to be running tons of them, it is mind-boggling to me that people do master Writs without this add-on, because it is so time-intensive and there's so many errors that can be made while crafting them, and I've heard of those errors being made, and that can get very expensive. Just use this add-on. Please just use it. I'm going to show you briefly how it'll work. Usually I would have like 100 in my inventory at once. I'd queue them all and I'd get to crafting and it would take care of it all for me. But I'm just going to do one right now for the sake of time, and because I don't have time even outside the video to take care of the whole process. So I'd say in queue all, it's going to queue all the ones that I can do, which for me should be just about any of them. And this is a wood master Writ. It is in my inventory. I have not learned it yet. This is an important factor. So I have not learned it yet. Yeah, right here. You do not have to learn them. I can have 100 in my inventory, even though I can only learn one at a time for each crafting type. To turn them in, you do not need to learn them to craft them using this. It reads them. This add-on is amazing. So it'll read every master Writ in your inventory. It'll queue them up, decide what you need. It's going to tell you how much it costs to make them in materials. It's crazy. It's crazy the kind of breaking down and stats and stuff this gives you. And then on top of it, it takes care of the stuff for you. I'm going to go to this Grandmaster Woodworking Station right now. And since I have it queued, I will just click on the station and look what it does. It gets straight to work. It makes it exactly how it should, to spec, upgrades it fully, and now it's telling me that it's ready for turn-in. So it's all greened out, right? And if I had multiple, they would all be greened out. It would just take the time that it takes to craft and upgrade everything. It can be really intensive when you have as many as I do, and I'm sure some of you guys do as well. But imagine doing it by hand, manually. Oh my god, no thank you. So now I'm going to leave out here, go to my usual turn-in spot, teleport over to Mournhold, and then I'll show you that I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna turn it in. I do also recommend, since we're gonna be waiting for a load screen here anyway, even though this is an add-on video, if you want a bunch of levels, a lot of CP, save up a bunch of Master Writs during an XP event. Have the 100% XP event plus a 150% potion or scroll. Pop it right before you turn in a bunch of Master Writs, and it is insane. You literally get dozens of levels. It's nutty. So I accepted it. It also will do this. Boom, turned it in. All I did was talk to him. So you can imagine that going into my inventory just once, picking up multiple master writs, and then talking to him, and it automatically turns them all in, another time saver. So this add-on, again, is crazy, and I highly recommend it for anyone who's serious about money, crafting, or running a guild. All right, here I am on another account because I already done my daily writs on my main account. I want to show you guys today Dolgubon's Lazy Writ Crafter. And this is another absolutely insane add-on, which I have showcased a tiny bit in another video. You'll notice as soon as I go to the board, it automatically picks them all up for me. That is that add-on. As soon as I go to the crafting stations, it'll utilize the materials I have to craft the items that I need. I don't have to go through and select them at all. It just auto-crafts them. Another add-on where it seems like it should be a crime, but Zos says it's entirely legal and people have been using it for the majority of the game's existence. Oh, it also stops you from stealing. I almost stole there. It gives you the notification in the top right. So it knows that you're trying to move quick and there's a lot of stealable items around these crafting areas. And it prevents you from doing that. You can turn that setting off, but I definitely like it. So I'll run through these real quick. I don't know if I have pre-crafted potions or food in my backpack, but if I did... that's right, I'm not on my main account. If you have a banker, you can pull out your banker like a zombie or something, and if you already have the food, like a stack of 100 food that you get to craft on the regular for these daily writs, and same for potions, it'll automatically pull them out. It'll actually automatically pull out anything, but those are the most predictable and they take up the least space. So on my main account, at least, I keep stacks of those items ready. So I don't have to go to the station on my main account. I literally will just talk to my banker. It instantly pulls them out and closes my bank. It puts my bank away even. The next step of the automation is just clicking on the boxes. It turns them in and opens the crates of materials. So this speeds up the process of doing your daily writs by an insane amount. And if you are a person that's going to be running many characters on your account every single day, it's going to save you hours or days if you're talking about the whole year. It's crazy how much time this could potentially save you. I highly recommend Dolgubon's Lazy Writ Crafter. I'm going to go over this add-on during this load screen and starting with my writs on this other character because I'm not going to have an example for you and it's just kind of something I wanted to throw in there. Auto handle shared quests for the quest group content portion of the video. If you're running with someone very frequently or multiple people and you don't really care about checking every detail of quests and whatnot, you just want to plow through them, then that add-on is going to be good for you. It'll automatically offer to share quests to the other person and vice versa, and you can just push one button to accept it and then just move on your way really quick. You can also set the settings to like turn in quests quicker and whatnot, so that might be one that you're interested in, so you can check that one out. Now we're going to wrap up this video with the most important category, in my opinion, when you're talking about getting your financial bearings, right? Or taking over the game, realistically. Like, if that is your goal, if you want to own as much as you can, have as much power as you can, not have to worry about what you can or can't do because of gold strangleholds and stuff like that, or you want to run a major guild or whatnot, then this is the business category. And it's going to be highly important for you to use some of these things, if not all of them. The first add-on I'll be talking about is Arkadius Trade Tools. And let me pull that open real quick. It's this guy right here. It's a window that keeps track of your sales, purchases, statistics, exports. It takes care of so much stuff. I get to see the taxes and whatnot of my guild. I have no problem showing them. Because the cost to upkeep it is much, much higher. It's really nice to see anything, to be honest, because once upon a time it was essentially non-existent, but I was still paying a ton to have the trader open. So that's a really good feature for especially large guilds where donations are a thing, or not donations, but dues. I have no dues in mine. Mine is just donation based, and If no one donates, I'm still paying it. I'm going to take care of it. But if you're a guild that needs to check these things out and see how much you need to make your dues, or if you need to run certain events to get your gold up or whatever to make your weekly dues happen, this add-on is fantastic. Not only can I see purchases that I've made and sales that I've made, I can also see sales and purchases from other guild members. This just has my name in the search bar, but if it has nothing, it's going to lag a little because there's a ton. I have information from the guild history just from playing. It updates. It takes the stuff out of the guild tab for sales and whatnot and implements it here in a very, very neat place that you can search stuff up. This is so much information for people who care. I know a lot of people don't, but if you're really about money and you want to learn the market and figure out what people are selling and at what prices and how they're competing with you and yada yada, an add-on like this is fantastic. So check it out. This next one is Master Merchant 3.0, and there's some redundancy here with Arkadius, but there's also tools that exist in one and not the other, or the way that it's laid out is different, or sometimes the data doesn't line up the same for whatever reason. So I like to have both, but you can pick or choose which one works best for you or what you're looking for. But I'm going to show you a little bit of the differences here. Like you have a statistics window where it shows you like your earnings over time and which guilds you sold from the most. You can really break it down per guild that you've been in recent time. Yeah, you can see the ranking for how much money you have made in certain guilds compared to others, your sales, your purchases like Arkadius. Bonanza View is something that's different to Master Merchant, and you can see really good deals, or like stuff that you could run out and try to purchase, right? And I know some players really like that. I don't use it, so I can't tell you too much about it. But if it's something that you want to look into and you think maybe it sounds interesting, check that out. You have a management view for your listings, your current listings, and if you don't want to go through every single trader and look at them, you can manage it here. You can go by price and break it down that way and blah, blah, blah. Like see what you've sold or what you've listed recently. Like what did I list that for then compared to now? Some things aren't going to matter because the price just changes. But others might. You might be like, oh, it's on a dip right now, so I'm going to hold off on selling it. It could be very useful. So yeah, that is the two add-ons that are kind of similar, but they have a little bit of differences. But I definitely recommend at least one of them for you. All right, this one's a little bit different. This is Tamriel Trade Center, the executable program. If you notice down here, I have a little green icon. And if I click it, it'll pop open a window right here. Now, this just sits here in the background while I'm playing the game. And it tabulates all the things I see on trade posts. So if I go through sifting through trade post items, looking at prices and stuff, this absorbs that data. And then whenever I log off, it uploads it to the data bank. And it's what allows us all to benefit from the TTC website. So if no one was using this, the website would really suck. We'd have no data. We wouldn't be benefiting from it at all. We wouldn't have all this wonderful information that we're transferring back and forth. So if you're willing and you don't feel too sketched out by having an executable file downloaded from someone, then look into getting Tamriel Trade Center client and get used to running it when you play, or at least when you're getting off, you can pull it up, and I think it'll still work that way. It'll tabulate, and then you can close once it finishes. But it's highly useful. This is my PSA. You know, do your part, be a part of the community. I swear I've never had any problems with it. Everyone that I know that is into trading uses this application and has for many, many years. And it's not a security risk. So I'm okay with vouching for it. This one is called AwesomeGuildStore. And any of you who have not used this add-on, but you've worked in the trading market and you've opened up a guild store to utilize it, are going to notice a very stark difference between yours and mine. Look at this window. There are so many options and things that you can manipulate in here. It is insane compared to what you would usually have. So I can't go through it all, but these are all just saved presets of things that I like to search with certain parameters set within them to search even more clearly. There's also a deal percentage option where you can break stuff down that way. Cost, the tier of item, the name, the price range, like the amount of customizability in this is crazy. Then also when you get down to the selling option, if I put up an item, let's find one that I have. Let's say I want to sell lockpicks. Not only can I put in a unit price and then it'll make it the total price. It'll do the math for me. Let's say I want to make it 50 per. It set the total price. So I can decide like what I want to charge per item. It'll do the math for me, put it there. Then if I post this, it'll actually remember for going forward. So then I don't have to always remember like, what did I sell that item for? What do I like to sell it for? And a big one for me is intricate gear. Intricate gear is barely valuable enough for me to bother with a lot. Like a lot of people would think I shouldn't because of how much gold I have. But if I have a lot of slots to fill and I get so much intricate gear, I just throw it up really quick on the cheaper end and it sells quick. And I mean, you know, I sell 30 pieces, that's 30,000, or 100 pieces, that's 30,000 gold. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it adds up. I'm just a little nutty like that. There have been times where I have not bothered with it, but when I want to, it's extremely nice for it to save the price. So then I don't have to go in and type that number every single time, because if I had to, I would not be selling those. There's no way in hell I would be typing in a price for something that cheap all the time. It's only because I've set a price for each item type, and then once I click the button, it's already saved there and I just post it. This add-on that I'm going to be showcasing is Show TTC Price, and it takes prices off the TTC website. It tries to do a very good job of it. It's a lot better than having nothing, that's for sure. And show them literally on the item. And you can change what things you want to show and where, because if you have all of these different add-ons on and all of the options they have available, you won't be able to see the item anymore. It actually goes off of your screen. So I have changed mine to an amount that I like to have it at. And it gives me the breakdowns that I care about. But you'll see it has an average of what it's posted, a minimum, a maximum, and the sale average. Sale average is the most important number there most of the time. And it has some more prices down below, some comparatives and whatnot. You also have the functionality here through these add-ons. You have various functionality through these add-ons, but you can say link to chat, and it'll literally... Oh, sorry. Link the... Of course, I'm blanking out... Price to chat. Sorry. I hit enter and the item goes down there. It tells people how much it's going to be worth. If someone asks you, you can price check from the chat as well. It's very valuable. It's very useful. A lot of players, for whatever reason, decide not to use add-ons but still want to benefit from them. So you'll see people say like PC price check in the chat. If you want to be helpful to them, even though they could just download and use the add-on, you can do that for them. I always do it. If people ask, I'll do it for them. But that is how they're doing it. They utilize these add-ons that link the price of the chat. There's a couple options in there, but that is the one that I just showed you. Okay, this add-on is not the most important add-on for most people, but some of you might be interested in it, especially those of you with a lot of assets. This does belong in the business category, and that is Wealth Evaluator. And that is because not all of our gold is in gold form. You know, liquid gold is great, but I mean, just in my inventory alone right now to sell, I have a ton of, you know, top tier items that I want to list for a lot of money. And I have a lot of stuff in banks and containers and on the guild on the store. So you, or the material bag. The material bag is the largest one by far. So if you want to know how much you're actually worth, like your net worth, then you're going to need this add-on. And of course it's not perfect, but it is damn near close. I would never spend the time trying to factor this myself. So if I just type in wealth here, I will get that to pop up. And it is telling me that right now my estimated wealth on this account, a character on this account, is 447 million gold. And it gives you kind of a breakdown too. It tells you like your alliance point value, your Writ voucher value, carried gold, estimated craft bag value. Like I said, that is the majority. It's almost matched with my actual gold. My liquid gold has surpassed my materials. It tells me how much my chests are like. I mean, it is a crazy add-on that keeps track of a lot of stuff and lets you know how you're doing. You could take it as like, you know, if your gold's low and you type in /wealth and you see like, oh my god, I have so much money somewhere else, you can go out looking for it, find it, and then properly, you know, sell the stuff that you have of value if you're living poor. I've literally seen so many people do that when I show them this add-on, and they're just like, holy crap, I have this much money somewhere in my bank or whatever that they just were completely oblivious to when they're new to add-ons. So I do recommend this one. I know a lot of people won't really care about it. It won't be something that is huge for them, but for me, this is massive. I do wish that I could add all of my accounts and all of the characters and stuff onto it, and multiple guild banks and stuff, because I would like to know my actual net worth. But this is pretty damn good, and this is where I keep a majority of it. So my net worth isn't at $1 billion. It would have been if not for the market crash of good old 2023, was it? Yeah, end of 23. Man, really changed my life. It's too much like real life. I lost a lot of money in stocks during that whole fiasco, but I would have been over $1 billion by now. Shucks. You know, I'll get there. It'll just take a lot longer. So yeah, anyway, that will do it for this video. I really hope that people took a good chunk of information away from this. I hope you've learned about at least one add-on that you didn't know about, or maybe like some information about it. Originally, it was going to be a much simpler video. I was just going to run through a list of the ones that I like and like rate them or something like that. And I decided I'd give a bit of a breakdown and showcase stuff. So it's going to be a bit more editing for me. So if you appreciate the extra legwork and you gained anything from this, please subscribe, hit the bell, like, tell me what you thought of it. Tell me, hopefully you won't want more information on the add-ons. I'm dreading it. I know usually I'll ask for that kind of stuff, but man, yeah, this did take a while. But honestly, if you do have a question, if you feel like I skimmed over something, or you want to compare another add-on or something, I will have the conversation in the chat. I will not be making more videos on add-ons in the foreseeable future, but I'll talk to you in the chat about it for sure. So yeah, if you have anything to say, let me know. Hope you liked it again. And yeah, have a good day.